So I'd like to give you a very warm welcome also on behalf of the program committee chairs. My name is Falko Dressler. I have been responsible for the technical program together with my dear friend Renato Cigno. And today I'd like to briefly introduce the technical program for MedComNet 2020. So this is quite an unusual situation that we are in, particularly also for us as TPC chairs. Because even though the submission process and the review process for the conference took place mainly before the coronavirus situation topped in, now preparing a complete online program is indeed a challenge because we as a research community have very little experience with doing this online conferencing. And for me, the conference is not just a place where we submit papers for the sake of having a paper, but primarily for going there, for meeting people, for discussing with people about research questions. And the papers are just a stimulus for these discussions. So this year, we do everything quite differently to any other year that you know, for any other conference, on-site conference that you know. So we collected all the presentations and the proceedings in advance. So all the authors did some pre-recording of their presentations. So we put them online already. They are on a YouTube channel, on the MedComNet 2020 YouTube channel, so that everybody can listen to these presentations, read the paper well before the conference, with the whole purpose that we can go to the presentations or to the discussions at the conference, to the online live sessions, with concrete questions, with some ideas in mind that we can use as a stimulus for discussions. So our main program this time is no longer paper presentations, but this time we switch from paper presentations to discussions, on-site discussions. On-site now meaning in a virtual room, but we are very well prepared this time, not just maybe having read the paper, but this time having read the paper and listened already to the presentations by the authors, so that we are perfectly prepared for all these discussions. So I hand over to Renato for doing the next.
Thanks a lot, Falco. Here's Renato Cigno from Italy. Welcome everybody. Let's give a little bit more of details of what we have in the live and online sessions. So first of all, our online conference are mostly on GoToMeeting. All the registered participants have received the invitation link via email, so you know how to participate. If you have doubts, send us an email. During the opening session, we will announce a Best Paper Award for the best paper of the conference, but also a Best Presentation Award. So we thanks all the authors who did a great job registering their presentations, and we want to bestow this honor to the best of them. Then we move on, and as we said, Leonard Kleinrock will address all participants, and we will have a lot of questions and answers with paper authors and also with keynote speakers. Also, the keynotes are registered, and the keynote speakers are willing to answer questions and to discuss with MedComNet participants. So have a look. And indeed, look all of our great keynote speeches. Obviously, at the end there will be a short closing session, farewell to everybody, even if we have not traveled, and see what the General Chairs and the Steering Committee reserves for next year. Now, Falco, can you tell us something about the first day of the conference?
Thank you, Renato. So coming back to the program now. So we prepared, as mentioned already, a live program that is mainly discussion focused for 3 days. And the first day, June 17, we start at 4:30 with the opening of the conference, which is mainly being done by the general chairs, having us as TPC chairs joining. And then we immediately move into discussion sessions. So we cluster the papers this time, not just by looking at the nice distribution of the numbers of papers per session, but instead really putting together papers that fit in scope, in their topics, so that we hope that the discussion is much more smooth and focused, because everybody's there just because you like this idea, you are motivated because you're doing research in exactly the same field, and this is how we order the papers into sessions. So on the first day we have two sessions, two discussion sessions. The first one is roughly in the field of 5G and beyond, with some aspects also covering energy management, scheduling, performance boost. So everything that is related to next generation networks, cellular networks. The second session is focusing on security, privacy, and network protection. So everything that is related to these fields will be discussed in the second discussion session, so that we can finally end the day with first meet the giants session on the first day on June 17. Len Kleinrock will address the MedCompNet 2020 attendees. So you know Len Kleinrock is one of the core inventors of the internet with lots of experience. So you get the opportunity to chat with him, to discuss with him questions about the early days of the internet, the current days of the internet, and of course the future of the internet. So handing over to Renato again for the second day.
Thanks a lot, Falko. The second day of the online conference, June 18, starts again at 4 p.m. It starts with Don Tousley, his keynote on the quantum internet, the recent advances and challenges. And I really hope that Don will explain me what the quantum internet is. Then we move on with the discussion on session 3 on wireless LANs and MAC optimization. Session 4 is more varied. There's a mix. It talks about vehicular, aerial, and also community network, mesh networks that go bottom-up, grassroots from communities. We end the day with Isaac Rubin that gives a keynote on communication networking and traffic management for autonomous transportation systems. This is a really hot topic. We all know that road traffic will be connected and coordinated in the future, and this keynote tells us a little bit about how this will happen. Falko, back to you for the third day.
Thank you, Renato. So my turn again. So for the third and final day, we will start into the program with yet another keynote. This time, Jim Corrose will talk about from circuits to packets to flows to content to system. So what a complicated line, and how abstractions define the research agenda. So Jim Corrose has significant experience in this field. So he has been one of the NSF directors for the last years. So he is well into the research agenda, research funding, and of course he is a researcher by heart, with lots of experience over the last years. So this goes on with a very special session that is by invited speakers only. And the title of the session is Large-Scale Measurements for Security. And I hope you will have a lot of questions related to large-scale measurements in general, and of course for security in particular. The program is almost done. The final keynote speaker for the conference and for the day is Tony Ephremidis. And he talks about a very popular topic these days, and that is the freshness of information, sometimes also called the age of information. So this is a rather important research field for many aspects in communications, because sometimes it is important to know whether or not to transmit data or to simply destroy data, because it might already be outdated, right? So The last few minutes of the conference will be used for a closing session, also giving a pointer to upcoming MedComNet conferences. So MedComNet will continue, and MedComNet will continue to be in the Mediterranean area. And I hope that you join again, hopefully on site finally. But this time, I'm pretty sure we meet in an online meeting, and we enjoy the conference nevertheless. So thank you very much for joining, and I'm looking forward to meeting you virtually this time, and making new friends, discussing the papers, and hoping for a very lively discussion. Renato, up to you for the final thanks.
So thanks a lot, Falko, and thanks a lot to all of you for joining this welcome. Let me thank in the end all the TPC members and the reviewers who made this possible, and obviously also the organization committee at large, starting from Marco Aimone and all the others that set up the web, doing the proceedings and everything that make a conference successful. So see you online in a few days. Ciao!